Once upon a time, in a forgotten kingdom nestled deep within a vast forest, there lived a princess named Elysia. She was the last of her royal lineage, for the kingdom had long since fallen to ruin. Her once grand palace was now overgrown with ivy, its halls echoing with memories of happier times. The kingdom's people had either fled or perished, and the once thriving lands now lay desolate. Elysia grew up with stories of her ancestors' great deeds and the kingdom's former glory. Though she lived in isolation, her heart brimmed with hope that one day her land would be restored. Every evening, she would wander through the crumbling remains of the castle, imagining what it must have been like in its prime, full of music, laughter, and joy. But as the years passed, her hope began to fade. The weight of loneliness bore down on her soul, for she had no one to share her burdens or dreams with. She would spend hours gazing out from her tower window, watching the horizon for a sign, any sign, that someone would come to save her kingdom. One autumn night, Elysia discovered an old, tattered book hidden in a forgotten corner of the palace library. It was a book of ancient spells, passed down through her family for generations. As she read through its worn pages, she found a spell that promised to bring life back to the kingdom, but at a terrible cost. The spell required the sacrifice of the most cherished thing in the kingdom, the last royal bloodline, her. Torn between duty and her longing for life, Elysia spent many sleepless nights wrestling with her decision. She knew that her life alone stood between the kingdom's complete oblivion and its rebirth. Her heart ached at the thought of never seeing the dawn of a new era, never hearing the laughter of children in the streets or the music of her people again. In the end, Elysia chose her kingdom. On the night of the first frost, under a full moon, she stood in the center of the palace garden, reciting the incantation that would bring her kingdom back to life. As the final words left her lips, a deep silence fell upon the land. The wind stopped, the stars dimmed, and with one final breath, Elysia collapsed, her body turning to dust. But as the first light of morning broke, something miraculous happened. The desolate kingdom began to stir. Trees that had been dead for decades bloomed, rivers began to flow, and the palace, once a mere skeleton of its former self, was restored to its grandeur. The people returned, unaware of the sacrifice that had been made. Yet, no one remembered the princess. Her name was lost to time, her face forgotten. Elysia had given everything, and in the end, she was not even a memory. The kingdom flourished, but its heart had been lost forever, the heart of the forgotten princess who loved her people more than herself.